Oh my God, how long has it been? Because I might actually have to pause real quick. And I'm sorry. I'm currently also making sourdough right now. And I have to leave
We
every
haven't
20.
haven't
I
even
have to
started talking.
I have to leave every 20 minutes because I have to stretch the dough. It'll take literally 5 seconds, but I have to go do that quick. I only have to do it twice. It'll take 5 seconds. I'll be right back.
It was literally the way that she just spent like 10 minutes fucking crocheting. And the fact that I literally was like, okay, Kim, like that's distracted, let's be done. And then we sit down and we finally start talking. And she's like, by the way, gotta go do my stretch and folds.
I have
The
to.
fuck?
Have you heard?
Oh my god, no way. Hey guys.
Welcome back to the She Said
Welcome back.
podcast.
We're back again. We're being consistent. Yes.
Oh my God, not as being consistent queens.
Yeah. How long will it last, though?
No,
How long
literally.
will it last, though? We shall see. Hopefully forever, because you guys are going to make us famous, and then we're going to have no choice.
I think we go into it with like the wrong intention. I think we go into it with like, you're gonna make us famous and like we're gonna be famous. And then everybody's like, I'm not gonna make you famous now just because you said that.
But, like, we have to be like, we're going to succeed in this podcast, because if we're like, oh, we're never going to succeed, only two people watch us, then that's what's going to continue to happen. No,
Yeah.
we're going to go viral because we're funny and people love us.
Then we're manifesting it for ourselves because
We
we
are.
are
I'll be
funny.
writing it in my journal tonight.
I should
Tonight.
write it in my journal.
We should. We should both do it. And then it'll happen.
Tonight.
Tonight. I won't be doing it tonight.
Me
This
neither,
week, though.
honestly.
This week.
At some point,
Probably.
I'll
Probably.
think about it.
If I remember.
Yeah. I probably won't remember if I'm being honest.
No.
Um,
Okay. Anyway, so guys, we're doing the mental health episode that we talked about in the last episode. I'm nervous, but I hope you guys like it because we got experience. Okay? We got experience.
mentally ill.
I'm still going to, warning, I'm gonna be laughing about it. And I'm gonna be making jokes about it because it is my way of coping. Mental health is not a joke. But, like, I do want to make light of it. I don't want it to be, like, a deep, dark episode where we cry. So,
I won't cry.
I won't either. But, like, you know, I want it to be, lighthearted. Anyway. I thought we could start off the episode with telling the people what we struggle with. Like, what's our diagnosed disease, illness.
I'm undiagnosed, but I exhibit behaviors of anxiety, OCD, and depression.
Thank you for sharing with us.
Your turn.
I am diagnosed with all of those three things. More recently, the OCD, because it's kind of, those kind of are like the big three, and they all go hand in hand with each other. But I think, like with MDD, major depressive disorder, that has slowly faded. And it hasn't been as bad as it normally would be. But the anxiety and the OCD are definitely hand in hand, and those are what I struggle with the most. So we've got a bunch of topics that we're going to talk about with mental health. Let me know if the cop trap, like, you can hear it, or if it gets annoying or distracting. We're going to talk about the impact. Okay, sorry. We're going to talk about the different topics of, like, our opinions on mental health. Can you turn that light off? Yeah, that's the only light on. Because he just pissed me off. He goes, yeah?
You said.
Because men are so annoying, guys. Like, what? Excuse you. Watch your lip. Anyway, we have a bunch of topics that we're going to talk about. and give you our opinions as women who struggle with mental illness and are in therapy, were in therapy, have been in therapy, have been medicated, have been tried everything, all the above. Which I didn't even add that in there. I should add that in there. Okay, so first we're going to talk about the impact of social media and like the internet on mental health. Like, what are your opinions on that?
The only real opinion that I have about like social media as far as like mental health is concerned is that social media has like made it uh, like everybody thinks that they have a mental illness, like, and people think that it's cool to like have a mental illness. They're like, oh, I have anxiety. Oh, I have OCD. Oh, I have this. Oh, I have that. And it's like,
The
no, you
one I
don't.
see most commonly um, self-diagnosed is OCD, and it's really, really frustrating because OCD is not, oh, I have to write all of my letters in a straight line, or like, oh, I have to keep my house clean. Like, yeah, it
Hmm.
can be that, but OCD is a very extreme mental disorder that a lot of people don't understand. So they're just like, oh, I'm really clean. I have OCD. I hate that. I hate that.
Hmm.
Like, really bad.
Yeah.
No, I definitely
Yeah.
get that. Yeah. I also feel like a lot of what's like posted online kind of like can make it worse in a sense. Like if people have issues with self-image or whatever, like people often compare themselves to others, and that I feel like is
Hmm.
a really strong like people. I can't speak. It's pissing me off. I can't. I literally can't fucking talk. Um, People often compare themselves to others because they think that their life is better or whatever it may be. And in reality, those people whose lives being are misconcepted as perfect are probably living a life just as miserable, sad as you are. Like everybody has their
Hmm.
shit. But just because their life
Well,
portrays to be perfect online doesn't mean that it is. And I feel like a lot of people get really stuck in that, like, oh my god, she's so beautiful. She must not have any issues. Oh my god, her boyfriend's perfect. Oh my god, her kids are beautiful. She's got a nice house. They've got a lot of money. Like, their life must be perfect. And it couldn't be further from that.
yeah, no, for real. I mean, yeah, you never really know what's going on behind closed doors, and like 90% of the time, like that's why it's like social media is like not real. Like
Yeah. Because you don't fake the
your
bad
face,
things.
yeah, your
Or you don't post the
Facebook,
bad things. Yeah.
your Instagram, like your TikTok, like all that stuff. It's like a highlight reel of like all of the great fun parts about your life, unless you're like a TikToker that like specifically like
Talks about the bad
talks about
things.
talks about stuff like that. But otherwise, like it's a highlight reel of like your best self. Like you're
Yeah.
not on there talking about every single time you have like a mental breakdown or posting yourself going through a mental breakdown, like
Yeah.
and it's like with anything, like, you find out from, you think that like the Ace family is like this amazing, like they have so much money, they have the perfect family. You find out he's cheating on her the entire time.
Yeah.
Like you have that Kayla girl that, she was a TikToker. Everybody thought that her relationship was perfect. You find out that she's been getting the shit beat out of her the entire relationship. Like, like
Yeah. And everyone thought that
it's,
he was just this really great guy, and in reality, she's
yeah,
suffering. But
yeah. And
because
it's like
online,
you
she
just never
portrays this
know.
really happy, fun, loving, life loving person, and behind closed doors, it's anything from that. And I feel like a lot of people, like, just like only can imagine other people's lives as to what they post. And that's not.
I do think that it's really good that like people talk about it more than what they used to talk
Yeah.
about it, but I feel like it's also like one of those things that's been talked about in such an excess that like now it's like I said, like everybody thinks that they have a mental illness, like, and everybody thinks it's cool to have a mental illness, and it's
Yeah.
like when you actually have
It's like
one and
a,
you have one,
like, when
with a severity, it's not funny.
people like introduce themselves and they're like, oh, and I have depression. It's like a personality trait for some people. even if they like
Yeah,
don't
well,
have it. And it's like, yeah, you
you'll
can be
like
sad. That doesn't mean you have depression.
yeah. Well, and you'll even see like videos like on social media of like, oh, if you do this or you do this, you have autism or you have ADHD or, and then like, so people are like self-diagnosing themselves like, oh, if you write a
Yeah.
certain way, that means that you have autism. Like, no, like go seek a professional to give you, an
Yeah.
actual diagnosis. Like, we're not, nobody on TikTok is a doctor.
Yeah. Which
The
I hate to
self-diagnosage
be this
is
person.
crazy.
I want to go get diagnosed. Pretty sure I'm neurodivergent. I've got to be. I've got to be.
Well,
But that's why I didn't
isn't
say
like
that when I was like, hey, what do we struggle with? Because I'm not diagnosed. I can name a million
from
things that I do that are those things, but like, I don't.
unless I'm wrong, like unless I'm wrong, um my well, never mind. I think I'm confusing the two. She was talking about Zeke when she was saying that. Never mind.
What do you mean?
Because I was gonna say that like we're all like with the OCD and like everything, like we're all like neurodivergent is just like a basic like broad term to describe like not being like technically like within the right mind, but I think she was mostly talking about like autism, ADHD, and stuff like that because we were talking about Zeke and how he might have ADHD. Not might, I'm almost positive he does. Like
Yeah.
about 95% sure he's got something going on.
Yeah. I think a lot of men probably have undiagnosed ADHD. Anyway, what do you think is the impact or effectiveness of therapy, counseling, psychiatry?
I think that therapy that is very effective when you find the right kind of therapist that works for you, and works with like what you need help with. I don't really, unless absolutely necessary, I don't think psychiatry is really necessary unless like you need to be like on some type of like psychosis drug or something, or like bipolar or something like serious like that. I wouldn't necessarily see a psychiatrist, and this is just personally for me, based off of the experience that I had. I wouldn't personally see a psychiatrist, for like general anxiety or anything like that. Um, just because I feel like a lot of people get worse.
Yeah, I agree with that. I really like counseling. I think you do have to find the right person that fits your personality, otherwise it won't work. I also feel like you do have to have the right kind of therapy. If you are misdiagnosed for anxiety and in reality you have OCD, therapy is not going to help for anxiety if the problem is OCD. Like, you need something specific to that mental illness, which is what I think I really struggled with because I could not find a therapist that I ever clicked with, and I felt like even when I did, nothing ever stuck. Like, it just, like, I was just told, oh, it's okay, like, just stop thinking about it. I can't. I, like, physically can't. Like, I'm stuck. Like, I cannot. As far as psychiatry goes, I really agree with the medication. I wouldn't say necessarily for like certain conditions. I fully believe it's based off of the person. But like Kim said, I was on medication for anxiety and depression. It made everything worse. Um, I ended up in the mental hospital because I couldn't handle the medication. Like, it made what I was feeling, it multiplied it. And I ended up in a really bad place, and it wasn't fun. And it's not
Hmm.
for everybody. Um, if you can do it without medication, I highly suggest. If not, whatever works for you is fine. But per my experience, I will never be on medication again. And if that is how a majority of people react to medication, I don't suggest it. I wouldn't say a majority, but
Yeah, it
if
really
that's
does
how you're
depend.
gonna react, don't take it.
Yeah, I do genuinely believe that it, depends on the person because I mean, I have family members that they take it and they're fine. But I
Same.
mean, like I said, after the experience that I had, it's not for me.
Yeah.
I'll raw dog it.
Yeah. It just like boosts so many emotions and hormones, and like it just didn't mix right with me.
It took my anxiety level from like a 40% and jacked it up to like 100%.
Yeah.
And I didn't come off of that for like a solid week. And even it took me like that happened the beginning of July. It is September, literally just like 3 weeks ago. I finally got to
Hmm.
like a decent place
Yeah. Yeah.
coming off of that experience.
Yeah.
Like
And which
I've even
weird
like it
because
took me
like
that long to like even talk about it without like sobbing.
yeah, it's terrifying, honestly. Like when I ended up in the hospital, I asked to go because medication literally made me feel like I was going to do something. Um, but like when I went to the hospital, like obviously it's the medicine that's causing this. They don't care because best believe they would make me take my medication at a specific time every single day, even if that's what made things worse.
Hmm.
Like you still had to take your medication if you were prescribed a medication. It doesn't matter, which sucks because like I don't want it.
That's
Like
why I was in there.
it's not helping. It's making things worse. I switched medication after the hospital and it was going fine for a while, but then it was like at a point where I had no emotions. So it's like either heightened emotions or no emotions at all. And I was like, I can't do this anymore. So I just cold turkey stopped. I was having withdrawals for months. Like months. And it was to a point where like it took a year before I even had any emotion to like be able to cry or be sad or feel anything. And I wasn't even on that medication for that long. I feel like to be like that. But it shouldn't be
Hmm.
like that. Like that's scary and it's terrifying. And when your psychiatrist doesn't communicate with you, it makes it all the harder. It makes it all the worse.
Hmm.
So, I don't know. It's not my thing, but some people have had success with it. So, it's just to
Yeah.
each their own.
Hmm. Do what you gotta do, but I'm gonna stay over here.
Yeah, I'm gonna be over here because that shit is scary. Um, what do you
Oh
think
yeah.
is, what is your opinion on like the cultural impact of mental health and like growing up like in your family with the mental health, like how people treated you and how people reacted to mental health in general before you discovered or even openly admitted that you had sufferings, like you were suffering.
Well, my family specifically was very much a family of like that stuff doesn't exist, like you're stronger than that, like it's all in your mind. Um, Basically like just don't think about it and it'll go away type ordeal. Um, and I never really told anybody that I was struggling with anything, because I started struggling in like seventh grade, I think, is when I started really struggling. And I didn't tell anybody for a really long time. I actually, I got, I didn't tell anybody I got caught. I'm not going into full detail. But
I
basically,
think that
I was,
people can definitely use their imagination to figure out what that meant.
um, yeah, I was caught. I got found out, and then I had to, explain. And then it was kind of like, eh, because nobody in my family like really experienced anything like that, or really like kind of knew how to tackle anything like that. It was just kind of like a little bit of a like a jokey joke, like, "Oh, can I leave you alone today, or are you gonna do something?" And so that's not really helpful either.
No.
So I also started having like full-blown panic attacks at what, like 15, 16. So that started happening to me. I actually got to a pretty good place once I got out of high school. I got to a pretty decent place. And up until me and your brother got married and I had L, and then I had a little bit of like, baby blues. And then
Postpartum.
it's like with anything like adjusting. Yeah, it's like adjusting to, a new life with, a child and like then that's kind of like with each kid, um, my anxiety and like need for control like really like ramped up.
Yeah, each time.
So, yeah.
That's rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of in the same boat. It really was like 50-50. I had majority men in my family be like, hey, like, not real, like, that shit's all made up. Kind of just, you just want attention, like, get over it. Get over it, you're fine. As far as the women in my family, a majority of them have dealt with mental health issues, so it was kind of like more supported on that side. But like, obviously, you want like everybody to support you. I mean, there was times where like I think everything kind of started in like seventh grade. I would say junior high. I at one point had bulimia. Like I wouldn't eat. I refused to eat because I don't know. I'm a big bone girl. I'm a thick girl. So like I was bigger than everybody, and it's not that I was like extremely overweight. I just didn't look how I wanted to. So I wouldn't eat for days, weeks on end. Anything besides like a small snack here and there, just because I didn't want to and I couldn't. And then I first anxiety attack, and it was the scariest feeling ever. And then the depression started. It all kind of hit me at once. And it's at a point where like I'm 12 or 13 and I don't understand what any of this means. I don't know how to help it. But I didn't actively come out and say, hey, like I'm struggling with this until high school. Until it got really bad because I just felt like I could handle it on my own. And it was almost embarrassing to admit, just because like I didn't want anyone to see me struggle. But like this is also at a point where like mental health is starting to be a little more accepted. Like obviously, I'm sure when you were a teenager, it wasn't as openly accepted as it was when I was
Mm-hmm.
a teenager. Because, you know, with time comes growth and new studies and new experiments and what's happening in people's brains. And, like, luckily enough, I grew up into a point where, like, it was okay to not be okay. So that was helpful. But, you know, it's always hard no matter what kind of community or support you have. Even with the most support, it's still going to be
Yeah.
hard, which
I know.
sucks.
I remember you coming to visit us for the summers, and it was after like the first time that you came and visited us. You had came back that next summer, and you had only been there for a couple days, and we had gotten a little bit closer at that point. So
Mm-hmm.
I had noticed it the first time, but I
Mm-hmm.
was kind of like, oh, maybe I'm just tripping.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next time you came, I was still noticing it, and I remember I confronted Malik about it. I was like, "Do you notice that like after she eats, she goes to the bathroom
Oh, yeah.
and throws up?"
Oh, I didn't even mention that. Yeah, no. I literally would throw up at least half of my meal.
And he was like, "Really?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "She does it a lot."
Yeah. Yep. I don't do that anymore. I be eating now. But yeah, it was like I either wouldn't eat at all or I would like binge eat a lot. So it was like either one or the other. But when I was binge eating, I was always throwing up. And
Well, and that's why like it was hard for me to tell because like you were eating and you were
yeah,
eating a lot.
yeah.
So I was like maybe I'm just tripping. But like every time and then you would always
Yep.
come out and you'd be like, "Oh my God, I ate so much. I threw up. Like I feel so sick." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, well, I mean, she did eat a lot, so like maybe, like I don't know."
Maybe I'm tripping.
But then it
No.
yeah, but then it just started to get a little weird and I was like, "Yeah, Malik, something's going on."
Mm-hmm. And mind you, he never said anything to me about it. So even if you were like really
Of course
concerned,
he didn't.
he never said
Of course he
anything.
didn't.
Not that I remember.
Of course.
He never said anything. But like it got better eventually. Like I don't know, I kind of started
Of
this
course I
sounds
bring something concerning to his attention and he's like, "Nah, whatever."
but who knows? He might have brought it up to my mom because I had talked to my mom about it on multiple occasions and like eventually it did get better. But he never personally said anything to me, which it probably would have been really awkward if he had, because then I would have been like, okay, well now I'm not eating at all because you're gonna know that I go to the bathroom to throw up. Um, but no, like it eventually got better, and it sounds terrible, but like at some point, like being a super skinny girl was not all that guys looked at. You know what I mean? Or like all that girls were like, oh, like you're so pretty. Like people would still call me pretty, even though I wasn't the beauty standard and what other girls looked like. And I'm not gonna say that that helped, but like it made me feel less like shit. You know, like it made me be like, oh, like
Yeah.
I don't look like her, but you still think I'm pretty. Like, oh, okay. And like eventually it got better, and
Yeah.
it's like I really fucking love food, so like going through that phase of my life was really fucking hard because like I love food. Like I love food. So like not
Hmm.
having a good relationship with food was a real struggle. And I never really talked to any doctors about it or anything until like after it had gotten over, but that was a big struggle.
Oh, I
And like I
know. Dude, when I was giving birth to Ev, like that this did not happen with my first two kids, right? Actually, no doctor has ever done this to me before, but I was having birthing Evelina and some midwife came in or whatever because she was supposed to be helping me with my birth or whatever. And they're putting my IV in, into my hand or whatever, and she's looking at me and she's going, are those fresh or are those old? And I'm like, high school. They're old. She's like, oh, okay. She was like, I didn't see it in your notes. She's like, so I assumed. I'm like, okay, so if you
why would
assumed,
you
then
just
why'd you
bring
have to
that up?
ask?
Why did you bring that up?
It was so fucking random. I'm like, okay,
Wait,
goodbye.
I would low key be offended. Like, what the fuck did you bring that up for? Girl, I don't even know you like
Like
that.
I'm literally I'm literally giving birth. Why does this
Like,
matter?
like this is not important. There is a child coming out of my coochie. like,
Literally. We've got bigger fish to fry right
like
now.
clearly it's healed, girly pop. Chill, relax,
Chill.
chill out, girl.
Alex.
You guys literally asked me this morning if I thought I was a harm to myself or others. I said no. That's still valid. Two
I
hours
said
later,
no.
I said no. Yeah, it's not in
No,
the notes
literally.
because it's over. It's done. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Literally.
Some doctors are very, like, they have no filter.
Be
Like,
nosy.
but, like, they have no filter. Like, how you just gonna mention it like that? Like, that's so weird.
Literally. Literally. It came out of
um,
nowhere. I just like looked at her and I was like, Mm.
um, child, hoo ha, help.
Literally. Yeah, your energy's supposed to be down here.
Yeah, not right here. What are your, like, biggest insecurities as just period? I mean, I kind of just talked about mine is like being a little thicker than some.
Let's see. Let's go down the
Kim's
list.
like,
My
20
face,
things.
my teeth. No. Basically anything that I used to like get made fun of for when I was a kid. So
Yeah,
like, I I've actually gotten like to a much better place about things. Like I really don't care anymore. 'Cause it's when you like in the grand scheme of things, you're like it really doesn't matter. Like I have a husband. Clearly someone
yeah.
out here likes me, so
Someone thinks I'm pretty.
don't give a
Don't
fuck.
care.
Yeah. Don't give a fuck. Um but like when I was younger, like people would be like, "Oh, she's got like a really long face or like a really big chin," and like them I was one of I've always like struggled with yeah, like hair, like arm
You looked at
hair,
your arm, and I was like,
um
she's talking about the arm hair.
yeah, like arm hair, unibrow, like stuff like that. So I went through a period where like I literally shaved myself from like head to toe, which created more issues, might I add.
Yeah.
But it is what it yeah, it is what it is. Um, so, because when you're a
Uh,
kid and you're getting made fun of, you're, insecure about everything. So you try to like fix everything so that way like nobody makes fun of you anymore. And in the grand scheme of things, you make things worse, but it is what it is.
yeah.
At least it's like a learning lesson that I can like pass on to my kids and be like, hey, don't do that because I did it and it's terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. I started trying to shave myself, and it did not help. I got bullied for it. And now I'm the girl that goes out with my armpits hairy and my legs hairy, because who gives a fuck? Genuinely, who am I trying to impress? I don't even know you people. um,
Yeah, but like you're even your generation's like like you were younger or like a teenager when they were doing that whole like movement of like girls like not shaving their legs and like their armpits and stuff. So like it was a little bit more accepting around your era versus like
definitely.
us.
I
It was
feel
like,
like
ew, you're fucking
everything.
dirty, you dirty
I,
bitch.
f- yeah. I feel like everything was more
Literally, like.
accepting during my time than yours, and I feel like the next generation will be even more accepting. Like it'll just keep getting better for your kids,
Oh
everyone.
my
Like
God. Another thing Another thing that I was so insecure about was, and I think I've already told you this story or whatever, but my stomach, like I've always had stomach issues, like with my stomach, like making like weird
hmm
noises. And when I was like junior high to high school, my stomach would make like these like gurgling noises that sounded like farts, but like I didn't fart. It was literally just my stomach making a noise.
you told this story in the
Literally in
podcast.
the
It
middle.
was funny.
Yeah, it was horrible. Hated it. So I was always super insecure about that too because like it would be so random. It would come at like the most random times and then
In a
I would
quiet
it would
classroom.
oh and then I'd just be sitting there like yeah, I would just be sitting there like did anybody hear that?
Did I do that? No, for real. My biggest insecurities.
Did I do that?
I feel like every girl has the same insecurities. It's like, oh, I want to be skinnier. Oh, I want to be prettier. Oh, I want my teeth to be straighter. Oh, I want my teeth to be whiter. Um, Biggest insecurities now is just my weight. In some majority of the times, my face. Just depends. Just depends on the day. Because sometimes I feel pretty. Sometimes I feel like I'm an ugly bitch. But mainly just weight. And again, it's not like I'm like severely overweight, but like I could lose some pounds. Like I definitely could lose some pounds by like not eating the way I eat and working out. And it's not even that like
hmm
my weight that's the issue. I think it's just the fact that I'm not fit, and like it's obvious to me and I want to be fit. That's kind of just
hmm
like my biggest thing, cuz like I just need to get it together, basically, is what I'm saying. I just need to get it the fuck together and stop being lazy. That's that.
Yeah, me too.
Says the one who runs. LOL. You just think you're better than you, don't you?
Now, I didn't before. Oh my God. I'm losing my ass though. It's literally disappearing right before
Right,
my
my,
eyes.
me too. Like a fucking magician
I
literally
literally put on
said
jean, like
abracadabra and it's gone.
literally. I look at the pictures that we took, the family pictures that we took, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, you guys are so gorgeous." And I'm like, "Where's my ass? It's
Yeah, I look
missing."
cute, but where'd it go?
Literally. Like it's gone.
Me.
Anyway,
Because I don't even
yeah.
wear jeans anymore. Because of that. Like, where the fuck did it
I'm
go?
I'm not going to anymore. 'Cause like
Not
those
till they
jeans
come
did me
back.
so dirty. Literally started doing some squats.
No, for real. What is your biggest struggle currently? Mine is getting my brain to shut the fuck up. It won't shut the
Yeah.
fuck up. and I can't control what it's saying to me either. And it's like, okay, well, like this is really bad. Please stop thinking about it. And then it's all I think about for 3 hours, and then I'm freaking out, and I can't control what my brain is wanting to do. Like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I was like that for a
Wait.
while where like I was really letting like the intrusive thoughts kind of like overtake me. Talked to my therapist, watched some videos on YouTube like specifically for like intrusive thoughts and kind of like how to help with it. Did my panic workbook that my therapist recommended. And it does it helps. It helps with a lot. Because you get stuck into like a mental loop like that, you know? But then once you kind of like learn how to get yourself out of that, and I'm not gonna lie, like sometimes like it works and it doesn't work, you know, like it depends.
Mhm.
Um, but it definitely does help. And like also like there's mindfulness that you can do. I do that at night for like 20 minutes. And it helps. It really does.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is what I
Just
mean by
gotta
the
put in the
difference
work.
between like you have to find a therapist that helps you, because I was in therapy recently and like she was a cool person. But like I don't know what the fuck you mean by panic workbook. She never gave me any tips or tricks for anything. It really benefits to find a therapist that works for you, because the therapist that I had, like she was cool and all, but like Kim just mentioned panic journal, or like other things. My therapist never recommended anything to me as far as like things to actually help. She was just like, it's
Yeah.
okay that you're feeling that way, and it's okay to continue to repeat OCD behaviors that are obviously harmful to me and my brain, which I don't go to her anymore. And I haven't looked for another therapist yet, but it's like, it really does matter, because like I'm just out here. I'm just out here and I'm
Yeah.
struggling.
A really big thing that helped me is that recognizing that my thoughts are just thoughts and that they don't define me as a person. So once, so that basically when you have a thought and it's a dangerous thought or it's like a thought that scares you, you can just be like, okay, I've had this thought. Thank you, and we can move on now.
Yeah.
Like, you know, just like acknowledging it, accepting it, and then just getting rid of it. Because what I was doing is that I would have like a thought and I would immediately have a reaction. I would get scared. I would freak out. I would be like, oh my God, I'm like losing fucking control. And so then you're just like stuck. And like now that you have given this thought a reaction, which is so weird that your like brain does this to you, but like once you associate this thought with something, and especially when you give it such a high reaction, you're going to think about it more,
Yeah.
and it's just gonna keep coming at you. But like once you like every time it comes in, you just go, "Thank you, brain," but like I don't need to think about that right now. We can move on. It'll stop coming as frequently because now you're desensitizing yourself from it.
My issue is that no matter how hard I try, like, because that's obviously that's the first thing my brain goes to when I have a thought. I'm like, okay, that's not me. I would never do that. That's fucking crazy as hell. Let's move on. And I try to focus on something else. I can't. Like, I
Well, you
physically can't.
well, you also don't want to like because that's kind of they call that like fighting with the thought because like I would do that a lot where like a thought would come in and I would be like, "Oh my God, why the hell would you think that? Like that's not you. Like you would never do something like that." You're like trying to like rationalize with yourself, but you're in doing that, like you're still giving the thought validity.
Yeah.
So it's like genuine and like I thought that it was silly too, like when I first started doing it and like the thoughts kept coming and I was like, okay, this clearly isn't working. But it's like the more that you just like let the thought just like pass and just like pay it no mind,
Yeah.
or even like the thought comes in and you just go, okay, cool, thanks, moving on.
Yeah.
It like the more you do it, like the easier it gets because it's work. It's a lot of work. to
I
rewire and retrain your brain.
my brain is very fucking stubborn, shall I say? Um, it yeah, it's hard. Um, what is the worst thing about being a woman with a mental health disorder or illness? I don't know why I keep saying like disease or disorder. It's not the same. For me, again, it's men telling me that it's not real and I'm just making it up for attention, which happens a lot.
Yeah, I think that's a common thread. I thankfully don't have that issue. But probably because Malik's been with me for as long as he's been with me and like he's, witnessed me, because he's he's the person that has to come behind me and like put all the pieces back together.
Yeah. It's not my man, it's just men in general.
Yeah, it's funny. And like, I don't know. I don't really have anything because I went through everything that I went through a couple months ago, and everybody was pretty understanding and accepting. My boss, like her husband struggles with anxiety heavily, so like she understood where I was coming from. Both of my coworkers struggle with anxiety, so they both
Hmm.
knew where I was coming from. Um, my mom doesn't understand it, but she was just worried about me because I literally was like about to off myself. And so she was she was worried about me and was like, well, like whatever we have to do to like help this, like let me know. And then like even my kids, like, I finally had to like tell them what was going on because they could clearly see that I was different.
Suffering. Yeah.
Um, and Malik, like I said, he's been with me for as long as he's been with me, so like he already knew
Hmm.
it got extremely worse, but like he's already, you know, and his coworker is kind of on the same level that I'm
Unfortunate
on.
again.
So like he is very like well versed in like how
He's
to,
familiar with your game.
yeah, he's good on how to handle it.
Yeah.
So yeah, because it was getting to a point where like I couldn't even like let him leave the house. Like I would be like, you can't leave. Like you can't leave me. You can't leave me
Yeah.
here.
Mine has gotten pretty bad recently. My main issue is that like if I see someone else struggling, I don't ever want to be like, oh yeah, me too. Or like if I don't know, I also just can't like bring it up. Like I have to lie about it for a long time before I can even admit that I'm struggling again. And I finally got to a point where I told Mahi, I was like, hey, I'm like really struggling right now. I don't know how much longer I can do this. Because it's not okay. I'm not okay. I've been lying. And my main issue is that I'm really, really good at hiding that I'm not okay. Like, even if I'm on the fucking edge, like, you wouldn't be able to tell. That's, it's hard. It's hard to admit it. For as long as I've
Yeah.
dealt with it, you think I'd be used to it by now. But no, I still can't be like, hey, I'm not okay. And,
Yeah,
like,
which
make it a normal thing.
I'm the complete opposite. Like when it gets to like a certain severity, I'm like shouting it from the rooftops, like, I'm not okay. Somebody needs
Yeah.
to come and get me.
No, I'd be
Like
suffering in silence.
yeah.
I allow myself to suffer. It's really bad. Self sabotage, but it's okay. Um, how has it affected you socially? Like in social settings?
There like even before like the whole like experience happened, and I think this is just from being home like all the time because I work at home. Like we don't really go out and do anything like on the weekends or anything. Like we're mostly
Mm-hmm.
just like at home. Um, so when I would go out, like if we would go to a restaurant or if I would go and hang out with my friends somewhere, it would take me like a good like 15 to 20 minutes to like get comfortable with like the setting that I was in
Mm-hmm.
because like I would immediately be like, "Oh, I don't feel comfortable here. Like this is weird. Like everything around me feels like really, really weird. I don't like
Mm-hmm.
this. I want to go home." Um, but I've been getting better with that. I still have it occasionally. And like now it's even like extended to like when I'm going to like the doctor's office and I have to like sit in the waiting room. I'm like sitting in the waiting room and I'm like, I want to go home. Like I don't want to be sitting here. Like this feels weird. Like I don't feel comfortable. It's getting better. It's getting better. I mean, I haven't bolted yet, so
For real. Same. It's like being in public, like, really makes me anxious. And it's not like, so like, at this point, I'm used to work. I'm used to seeing people at work. I'm used to dealing with people at work. It's when I'm leaving the house for any other reason than work. I get anxiety. I don't want to be in the car. I don't want to be driving. I don't want to be behind the wheel. I don't want to be in the passenger seat. I don't want to be in the car in general. The car gives me anxiety. Going anywhere, like, me and Mahi don't go on dates. Going anywhere that's not home or work, I have a panic attack. Like, we had a date planned, and I swear I changed plans 10 times that hour before we went. And we left early. And the whole time we were there, I was complaining. And I feel bad for him because, like, he wants to have fun too. But, like, the whole time we were there, in my head, like, obviously, I don't speak these things out loud, but I'm like, this feels like a fever dream. I'm uncomfortable. I'm about to have a panic attack. I feel like life is not real, and I'm freaking the fuck out right now. And we ended up leaving early because I was like, this shit's lame. I don't want to be here. But, like, in reality, I'm just like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. But it's
yeah.
like everywhere I go except for work. And sometimes I do feel that way at work. Like, I like doing things where I don't have to communicate with customers as much because some days I'm just like really high anxiety, really high emotions, and I just can't communicate with anybody because either I'm gonna cry, I'm gonna stutter, or I'm gonna freak the fuck out. And it's not like, even if people aren't being mean, like sometimes I just like my brain just, I don't know. Like, even if I know the answer
Yeah.
to the question, I don't know because my brain like just can't right now.
Yeah.
So it just really depends on the day, but like majority of days I can't do anything besides home and work.
Yeah. I have
And it
that
just
same issue
nothing feels
where
safe.
yeah, where like you look around and you're like, this doesn't feel real. This is really
Yeah.
tripping me out. Like
Yeah.
I have that issue all the time, and that was one of the like main triggers when like all of this was happening. Because I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. And then like I kind of, because then I kind of like sat down and I was telling Malik about it. I was like, it's so irrational to like think this way. I'm like, because even if this is like a fever dream or like a hallucination, or I'm making all of this up in my head, who like genuinely, like, who cares? Like, nothing bad's happening to me right now. Like, I'm sitting here watching a movie. Ooh, so scary.
No,
Like, why,
it's so
like,
scary. But
why the fuck
like,
am I about to freak out right now?
yeah, but like, why do I not feel real? Why is my body getting hot? Why am I having hot flashes?
Yeah,
Like, it's scary. I'm
yeah,
literally just driving to the fucking circus right now, and I don't feel real. I'm
yeah.
just eating a cupcake, and I feel like I'm about to lose my mind. Like, I don't
And
like
like
feeling that way.
genuinely, before I got the panic workbook, I thought that like that whole situation was like unique to me. Like I didn't think that that was just like a thing. And then it was like going down a list and it was like check off, when you're having a panic attack if you feel like these things. And that was one of the things on there. Like I feel like things aren't real. I feel like I'm losing my mind. And I was like, "Oh my God, so like that's just like a symptom."
Like, it's
And then
normal.
like and then it kind of like made me feel better because I'm like, okay, so I'm like really not losing my mind. Like I'm literally just having a panic attack and like everything will be okay eventually.
Yeah, yeah. No, it really does make you feel like, it really does make you feel like you're losing it. Like,
hmm
what the fuck is happening? I don't know what's
hmm
happening. What's happening? Like, I'm scared, please.
Yeah, and like
It,
that's what like immediately like triggers like the response of like you get hot, you get dizzy, you start breathing heavy, like you start feeling numb, like because because that happens to you, and then you have that triggering thought of like, oh my God, this shit doesn't feel real, and then it
Yeah.
immediately like you have the physical responses. So then you're like, oh my fucking God, like I'm gonna die.
Yeah. No, yeah. It'd be scary as fuck. Ugh.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the last question. What is the most important hold on. What do you think the most important thing to live by is as someone with mental health illness?
For me lately, what's been getting me through is just like trying to make each day like a good day or have something to look forward to or like be able to take something positive out of each day. So that way, like I'm not just constantly dwelling on like the negative. Um, because when you dwell so much on the negative, you're gonna like see negative out of everything. Like once you start like reframing to like focus on like the positive things that have happened, throughout your day or like throughout your week or like things that are going to happen to you, like it makes it easier because you're like, oh, like I can have like good days and like I can feel good and like that's not an impossibility for me. Like I can have a good day, a good week, a good month, like,
Right.
and things can feel normal, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. For me, I would say is just like to be nice to people because like you truly don't know. Like I've had people be rude to me on my worst of days, and like it's just like it really wouldn't have affected you any to be nice. So like as someone who works in customer service, like unless you're like really pushing my limits, which is really it's really hard to push me to my limits at my job. Like it's really fucking hard. I don't get that upset at people almost ever. But like I'm always nice to everybody. Even if you're being annoying, I'm gonna be nice to you because I don't know what you're going through. I don't know if your mind is in
mm,
the right spot. Like I don't know what's all happening, you know?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Um like I've had people come up to me and like obvious like I read energies really well, but like I've had a lady come up to me and be like, "Hey, like I need the product to like mold my dog's paw print." And like I'm not going to ask her what's going on cuz like I don't feel like I give the energy like of consoling. But like I know what's happening. I know why she's doing this. I know why she's upset. I know why there's tears in her eyes. You know what I mean? Like of course I'm gonna help her out. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not
mm-hmm,
gonna be upset about doing my job. Like I'm gonna be overly nice to this person. Or there's people who came to my job. A lady who came into my job and she's like, "Hey, I just recently lost my brother. This is his dog. He's mine now. I need help. I don't know what the hell I'm doing." And it's like her brother just died the day before that. And it's like, yeah, she told me that, but what if she didn't? You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
Like, and what if it was somebody else who helped her? What if it was somebody who had an attitude that day? And like, she didn't say that. It's like, I don't know, just like, why not be nice to everybody? Because you truly don't know what they're going through.
Yeah,
Like, you don't know what anybody's going through. And it's really not that hard to be nice. And as
yeah,
someone who's like always upset and angry, like, I still am nice to people, even though I hate my life and I'm miserable. It's nobody else's fault.
yeah,
So basically, just like be nice to everybody because you really never know what anyone's going through, and people could be
yep,
suffering. People could be on their. I saw this. I don't remember what it was on. It was a thread, and um, they were responding to a question. It was like, oh, what was like the most crazy thing that's happened at your job, or like the most eerie thing that's happened? And it was a girl. This guy asked for help, and she's like, I helped him, and I was overly helpful and really nice with him, and he left the store. Before he left, he said, "Thank you for being so nice to me. I can't do what I came in here to do." And then he left. And it's like, she was just
damn,
being herself. She was just being nice. And you don't know what that dude was going through. She might have saved him from ruining his life. You know, just
yeah.
because she was kind. And it really, truly isn't hard to be kind to people. I just almost pissed my...
All right, I'm back. I'm back, hoes. What's up? What it is, ho? What's
What's
up?
up? What's up? Got show in the hey!
God damn. That's my favorite thing to sing.
What kills me?
What it
Remember
is,
the
ho? What's up?
I woke up to get me a cold pop. I thought somebody was barbecuing. I said, "Oh Lord Jesus, it's fire!" I ran outside and grabbed no shoes or nothing. Jesus, do you remember her?
Oh, no. I
Yeah.
thought you
Oh
were gonna
Lord Jesus,
say,
it's fire.
I thought you were gonna do the I woke up in a new Bugatti.